be led. Welcome, everybody. This is the first chain reaction meeting of 2022, and it's a meeting that will be about the Belgian scene. Questo è il primo meeting dell'anno di Chain Reaction e ci prepariamo ad un viaggio in Belgio. Il meeting sarà in inglese con alcune frasi chiave nella chat in italiano. The meeting will be in English with some small translation in the chat in Italian. Today I will take care of making this translation, so I will let my colleagues that are a lot today coming from different parts of Belgium and representing different situations in Belgium, be kind of the moderator together with me, because Chain Reaction is an informal meeting in which we aim to exchange information, practices to better help colleagues to make networking also in which we're still able to meet us in person. Ho spiegato, faccio un breve sintesi per chi comprende il nostro incontro e per chi frequenta Chain Reaction ormai da tempo, questo è un incontro sulla scena belga in cui incontreremo delle persone che ci spiegheranno in parte, cercheranno di farci capire come funziona la scena belga, in questo caso, che tra l'altro è molto variegata, ma lo scopriremo incontrando i nostri ospiti. And this is the preparation to a journey, a visiting that we will make, hope, finger crossed, visiting Crocus Festival at the end of February. E questo è un viaggio di preparazione che faremo per poi visitare in persona, speriamo, con un gruppo di operatori italiani, il Festival Crocus che festeggia i 25 anni. Prima di iniziare do un'informazione di servizio che è che il Festival Visioni di Teatro, Visioni di Futuro della Baracca Testoni Ragazzi si terrà e le date sono confermate. Adesso le dico, speriamo di non sbagliarne, 15-20 marzo, Bologna, tenete d'occhio la rete.
14.
Oh, ecco,
14.
vedi, lo sapevo. 14-20 per iscrivervi perché show must go on e Visioni c'è. One important information that I would love to share that is about the Italian stage of festival is that Visioni Festival in Bologna will held its edition even if we are in this on and off, in and out situation, and it will begin the 14th of March from my birthday until the 20th of March. So pay attention and make your reservation. First of all, thank you to Acitech Belgium and Yannick Boudot, that is today with us in the person of the coordinator and the person that is our guide in this small but complex and productive and dynamic scene that is the Belgian scene. The first person I will give the floor is Gerd de Prost, that is a representative of the general representative of the Fiandre in Italy. Thank you, Gerd, and for being with us, and tell us about the Belgian scene from your point of view.
Grazie Cristina, ciao a tutti. I am here to Prost. As Cristina told you, I am the general representative of the government of Flanders to Italy at the Embassy of Belgium. So I am, you could say, the cultural attaché of Flanders here in Rome. And my presentation will be very brief. I will give you a couple of, say a few words on the institutional affairs, because you probably know that Belgium is a federal country And for instance, for culture and for education, but also for many other competences, there is no national ministry anymore. We have two ministers for culture, one for Flanders and one for the French-speaking part of the country. And I have to be complete also for the smaller German-speaking, for the small German-speaking part of Belgium. So a lot of responsibilities in our country are devolved, are decentralized, and so is culture and education. And that is why I, here at the embassy, and Michele for the French-speaking part, based in Milan, are in charge for the cultural relations between our two regions, between our two communities and Italy. And my role is mainly to promote, to facilitate, and to support arts and culture from Flanders in Italy. And so to advise, assist Italian partners to cooperate with Flanders and with Flemish companies and artists. We have been working a lot the last couple of years with a lot of Italian festivals, with venues and with cultural and arts organizations here in Italy, be it in the performing arts, the visual arts, film, music, etc. But I think that Sophie Joy, my colleague at the Flanders Arts Agency, will give you the full picture of the cultural and artistic landscape in Flanders. So to be short, I'm here to assist and to be a go-between between Italian organizations, Italian festivals and Flanders. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I will start immediately breaking the structure, asking you a short, simple information about how an Italian producer or festival can contact you, and also for those who are not coming from Italy but from other country, if there are similar structure like your one in the other countries in Italy. Then Italy, I mean.
Yeah. So you can find us on, we have a website, Flanders in Italy. Yeah, I have colleagues, of course, in the other capitals in Europe, but also in the US, in South Africa. So, and yeah, you can people can reach us. I can send in the chat coordinates our email address, website, etc. And we look into every request that we receive from any organization here in Italy, and try to help in different ways to make it happen.
Thank you. If you can put in the chat the contact, my colleagues, I'm sure they will be very happy. And can you make us an example of a fantastic project or process that you have facilitated? Just giving a picture or an idea, a taste.
Well, when we opened an office here in Rome in February 2019, so it's a relatively recent office that is part of the embassy, as I told you. And immediately in 2019, Flanders was focus country at the Roma Europa Festival. Roma Europa programmed a lot of productions from Flanders, also in the kids program. And also this year, 2022, Flanders will be focused at Roma Europa. But we have been working with other festivals in Torino, in Milano, of course at the Biennale. We will, the two communities, Flanders and the French-speaking community, on a rotation basis are responsible for our pavilion. This year, Francis Alice will be in the Belgian pavilion, so Flemish artists. And we have colleagues in other cities, mainly in Milan. We have a trade office and a tourism office in Milan, so people can also go via our colleagues in Milan. But of course, for culture and the arts, they will always ask us to help and assist with the request.
Thank you so much. And can you tell us, I will make apparently stupid questions, but you know, when you look at a country from outside, sometimes details can make the difference. Which is the language that you are speaking or that Flemish artists are speaking, and how much the language can, from your point of view, is a barrier or not?
So of course in Flanders we speak Dutch, like in the Netherlands. We are Dutch speaking. Many of the productions are in Dutch when it comes to performing arts, but our performers are very, very international. As you know, we are at the crossroads of many cultures, so many Flemish companies also perform in English or in French. There are 6 universities here in Italy where Dutch is taught, and we worked already a lot with them to translate Dutch texts, the Dutch performances in Dutch into Italian. We did it recently for a film at the film festival in Naples, but also for theater productions. We try to find a solution if subtitling in Italian is not available, and that it is needed for the targeted audience. But Sophie will probably tell us more about working in different languages. But for Flanders, it's not a problem. We have a theater production in Milan this week, and it will be performed in French with Italian subtitles.
Which is the artist? So maybe we can go and see that show. Tell us.
It's Moody Blues Productions, and it is called Armand. It's at the Noma Theater. And it's a piece about, it's a piece that is about a person who was a football player during the First World War, and who played, or a friend of his played for AC Milan, and there was a football match between the Nazionale and the Belgian team during the World War that was performed here in Italy. So it's a story about that person and what happens with him after the war.
Very well, thank you. So that we can have a kind of a taste. And Teatro Noma is a nice small theater in Milano, in zona stazione, zona Lambrate. Quindi for those who are nearby Milano, you can have a taste of the Flemish production even going there in those weeks. So let's move to another side of the country with our colleague. I want to pronounce the name well, so is an Italian name, and the Italian language is another language that is spoken in Belgium, even if not represented at the institutional level. There is a story of relation between Italy and Belgium. Michele Pili from Wallonie-Bruxelles International. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I prepared a little speech in English because of my English. I'm not very familiar with English. If someone of you prefer that I speak Italian or French, tell me, or I can change the language. So, Wallonie-Bruxelles International is the public agency of the Fédération Wallonie-Bruxelles for the French-speaking community of Belgium. We call WBI. WBI has the aim to promote culture, education, research, innovation abroad. As Mr. De Prost said, we are based in Milan, within the Wallon Economic Bureau, which is part of the Belgian embassy in Milan. This office is headed by Cécile Flagotier, that she is conseillère économique and also Wallonie Bruxelles International representative in Italy. For us, the cooperation with other countries mainly concern the mobility of artists and also the promotion of the French language. We can participate to the organization of cultural activities or events in Italy. Our mission is also to implement a specific program linked to education. We participate also, we support French-speaking Belgian operators to grow in Italy. And as WEI, we are part of many important Italian events like Biennale, like Milan Design Week, and Bologna Children's Book Fair. Sorry, I didn't hear if Mr. De Prost has spoken about the Comacina Island. Maybe, bon. We are also, the WBI also run an artist residence on Isola Comacina on the Como Lake. And we are member of the board of directors of the Isola Comacina Foundation. Every year we manage the applications call for 5 residency grants that award artists from Brussels and Wallonia. I have to say that for the Belgian operators, Wallonie Bruxelles International head office in Brussels has set up a desk that informs you about different ways of support offered by WBI for international exposure. The list of the help and the services are on our website, wbi.de, I don't know. There is also a specialized agency for performing arts called Wallonie Bruxelles Théâtre Danse that has an essential role to promoting the work of cultural operator internationally. So if you have any question or if you need some information, you can write me, you can drop me an email, I can reply you. I said I will write down my email on the chat box. If you need some information, you can drop me a message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I ask you both to tell us, Gert and Michele, if because from your presentation, it looks like that you are supporting mostly the mobilities. So that means that if I can make a kind of double check to see if I understood well, a festival producer contact you and maybe to ask you if you can support the mobilities for the artists coming to Italy to perform, or a festival. When you say, for example, that Roma Europa Festival will have a focus on Flemish artists, what does it mean? It's a kind of a general envelope, it's supporting specific process, because what is interesting for my colleagues is really to understand how to have a relation with you, how to address to you and to get connected, because if sometimes it looks easy from your point of view, for an artist or a festival director, it's not that easy to understand if it's enough to send a project or which kind of costs will be supported. And also, is it only on mobilities or co-production? Michele, you were speaking about Isola Comacina. What's precisely happening in Isola Comacina? That can be interesting for me. So, do you support other costs from different costs than mobilities? Which kind of costs you support and which goal? And what is happening in Isola Comacina? Maybe Gerd can tell us about the first question, and maybe Michele, you can tell us something about the second one. I don't know.
Sorry, Michele, would you like to go first? There you go.
Ok. Eventualmente posso rispondere in italiano? Così...
Sì. Se mi lasci il tempo di tradurre dopo.
Sì.
Cioè
sì,
fai le frasi corte. Ok.
Vado piano. Nello specifico, per quanto riguarda Wallonie Bruxelles International, è sostenuta la mobilità degli artisti. Quindi sono gli artisti stessi che nel momento nel quale vengono chiamati o richiesti da un evento in Italia, Wallonie Bruxelles International risponde a una richiesta specifica da parte degli artisti e collabora, insomma, e fornisce anche economicamente, aiuta economicamente la mobilità.
Okay.
Per quanto riguarda invece...
In the case of... Sì, però non posso fare frasi troppo lunghe, se no dirò cose sbagliate. Devo tradurre il pezzettino. Grazie. In the case of Wallonie Bruxelles International, the artists are contacting Wallonie Bruxelles International and they're asking for the support for the mobility. So they are contacting when they know that there is an engagement in Italy, for example, or in another country, and they ask to support the mobility cost. Then...
Also, Wallonie Bruxelles International supports the structure of the Wallonia-Brussels Federation when hosting foreign artists contributing to the cost of their fees.
Ok, quindi traduco in italiano e a volte Wallonie Bruxelles International supporta anche i costi dei cachet di alcuni artisti, contribuendo quindi a minimizzare magari l'impatto per la struttura che li accoglie.
La struttura ovviamente, no, parlavo della struttura all'interno della Federazione Wallonia-Bruxelles.
Ah, ok, quindi non necessariamente connesso con l'internazionale.
Lo ridico in italiano, supporta i costi dell'invito da parte di una struttura in Belgio per una compagnia italiana, per esempio.
Ah, ok.
Se la struttura ritiene che la compagnia italiana invita una compagnia italiana non so, faccio un esempio, il Teatro National Wallonie Bruxelles, può chiedere, quindi il teatro può chiedere un supporto per questo tipo di ospitalità. Lo stesso dicasi anche per... Vai pure.
No, okay. So it's possible also for a Flemish structure to ask support to host foreign artists. For example, in the case of Italy, if there is an Italian company that wants to be programmed in a Flemish structure, or for someone from another country, they can contact Wallonie Bruxelles International, and if they believe it's relevant, they will support a part of the fee for this company. So this is for our colleague from, for example, I see Tomayo Kano from Rica Festival, or other Welcome, and other artists, for example, Plan D with Andreas Denk, or our fantastic Le Minutemen from Israel that is working with a lot of companies from all over the world. So this is a relevant information for you, colleagues. Very well. And what about you, Gerd?
Well, it's true. It's mainly about mobility, and there are several financial tools to support mobility, incoming mobility to Italy, There is first of all the arts decree, and I suppose that Sophie will give some more details about the opportunities that are linked to the arts decree. But there are other financial tools from my department, for instance, which is the Department for Foreign Affairs. They have also a grant system. It's a little bit more modest than the arts decree, but for international collaborations, they intervene depending on the activity, the quality, the impact, etc. And then here in Rome, I have my own budget, which is probably even more modest. But anyway, we try to intervene wherever it is possible and where we can give a project a certain push to make it happen. And there is now a new fourth tool, which is a collaboration between the Ministry of Culture, Flanders Investment and Trade, Visit Flanders, our tourism office, and the Foreign Affairs Department. But it's very new, and we still do not know how it's going to be applied and used. Of course, we try to, or we give the emphasis also to co-production. And also here in Italy, when a company or an artist is coming to Italy, it's always good or better that they can combine it with other festivals. For instance, with In Italia, we are looking into possibilities of bringing a company to more than one festival, if it's within a certain time frame that allows to combine it. But we also have a couple of own projects, and one is, for instance, in the month of May, end of May, we will have an activity in Parma to celebrate the special relationship between Parma and Flanders, because there is a lot of cultural history, but not only military history with Alessandro Farnese e le Fiandre, but also Margareta di Austria, the mother of Alessandro Farnese, had Flemish court composers in her court, and she collected, and her family, also Alessandro, collected a lot of art from Flemish masters from the Low Countries that is now in Capodimonte in Naples. So we're working on a cultural project in Parma end of May. And so another one is, for instance, on the Franco-Flemish polyphonic composer Josquin des Prés. We are working on a concert and a conference here at the Vatican in Rome, end of March. So yeah, there is some, we try to produce ourselves with the help of some organizations, either in Belgium or here in Italy. But it's mainly mobility, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, because I think that you have been giving more pictures about what's possible to be done, and for us it's interesting to go and look for information on those projects.
And sorry, I forgot to say, because Eleonora is, I saw that Eleonora is from Insigni d'Infanzia, because we worked for 2 years, so she could also be a testimony for some of the participants.
Yes, I will tell you more. I am the artistic director of Segni d'Infanzia, and this is why I invited you, because we have been, and this is also something that we can share, we have been supported for welcoming the show Diorama that some of my colleagues have seen in Giglio Island and in Mantova. And we are about working on a co-production between Diorama and Teatro per Corrispondenza from Simone Guerro with the Crocus Festival. So this is one of the unpredicted output of this mobility from 2 years of the company Hana Fubuki. So yes. Let's go. I wanted to know more about Isola Comacina, but I think that we need to go deeper now in the project and the process, because I will give the floor to Isabelle Othon, that is a colleague, a professionist, that have been working for a lot of structures with different role avec des différentes casquettes, that we speak in Italian. Adesso darò la parola per entrare più nel vivo dei progetti anche artistici a Isabella Ton, che è una professionista e collega che ha lavorato per tantissimi progetti con differenti ruoli e che secondo me la sua testimonianza ci può far capire bene anche come dire, la complessità e la ricchezza della scena belga. Grazie Isabella, e lei parlerà in italiano, quindi devo tradurre in che lingua? Chi non capisce italiano? Who's not understanding Italian? Ok, francese. Vado col francese che faccio meglio oggi perché sennò... And I will translate... Ok, tradurrò in francese a seguire... Ah no, l'inglese serve. Tomaio, you will not understand if we speak in Italian. Am I correct? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so I will translate if no one else is needing English.
Maintenant, je crois que ce que je vais raconter, Annick connaît tout cela, donc...
Yes, but Sophie from the Flanders Arts Institute said that she doesn't...
That's why. Who's Andreas? Andreas, we need English for Andreas. Okay, so I will translate in English. Okay, thank you for your patience in this lost in translation gap. Ok, Isabella, dammi solo il tempo, se vuoi, ogni tanto, di provare a riassumere in inglese.
Sì, ma farò più breve possibile.
Fai delle pause, ma puoi parlare tanto. Vai.
Certo. Buonasera a tutti. Allora, come già l'hanno spiegato altre due persone, è vero che il Belgio è un paese piccolissimo, ma molto complesso. Dunque abbiamo 3 comunità, 3 regioni che non sono uguali, e si parlano 3 lingue, dunque il fiammingo al nord, il francese e il tedesco. E dunque io faccio parte della federazione Wallonie-Bruxelles, che è francofona. E dunque abbiamo un governo francofono che si occupa principalmente dell'insegnamento e della cultura. E io da sempre, e la relazione che mi interessa di più è proprio la relazione tra arte, cultura e scuole. E dunque ho fatto tanti mestieri, ora li faccio quasi tutti insieme, di insegnare, formare. Ora vado più verso gli adulti, anche se mi sono preoccupato tanto di adolescenti. Ho creato un centro culturale, dunque ho fatto la programmazione, l'animazione, la mediazione. Ho lavorato e lavoro ancora per compagnie di teatro per bimbi e ragazzi. E mi preoccupo tanto ora, come dico, della mediazione, come fare arrivare lo spettacolo verso il suo pubblico adatto. E per quello sì, ho girato tanti paesi, diversi festival.
Thank you.
Non, je peux le dire en français? Non, il y a des gens qui ne parlent pas français non plus.
Non, le problème c'est que il nous manque l'anglais.
Ah.
C'est l'anglais qu'il nous faut. As you have understood, Belgium is a really small country that but complex, because there are 3 communities, 3 regions, 3 languages, and I am from the French-speaking, and the 3 languages are Flemish, French, and German. I am part of the Wallonie-Bruxelles, so the Francophone part, and the Francophone government has a cultural and instruction institution, a Ministry of Culture and Instruction. I have been doing different jobs every time, always about the borders between culture and instruction, or putting those 2 together. So I have been teaching creating a cultural center, working with teenagers, even if now I'm addressing myself more on adults. I have been working for companies, for TYA. We have been hosting a show from your company, a fantastic one, in 2007. Insegni, c'è stato uno spettacolo della sua compagnia nel 2007, bellissimo. And now I am more engaging myself and as a cultural mediator to better connect a show with his audience and to reinforce this connection.
Allora, per capire un po', le compagnie in Belgio sono tutte costituite in associazioni senza scopo di lucro, dunque ASBL, come si dice da noi. E abbiamo quello che si chiama la CTEJ, la Camera del Teatro per l'Infanzia e la Gioventù, e in quella Camera ci sono quasi 100 compagnie che sono membri di quella Camera. Invece solo 23 di quelle hanno quello che si chiama contrat programme, un contratto programma. Vuol dire che ogni anno e per una durata di 5 anni ricevono un sussidio che va da 60.000 a 450.000 euro all'anno. Con quello devono creare magari tra 1 e 3 spettacoli, fare centinaia di rappresentazioni, immaginare libretti per l'aiuto proprio per il pubblico. Hanno un contratto che firmano e che dice quello che sono i doveri di quella compagnia per 5 anni. Chi non ha questo sussidio può esistere. Io lavoro per compagnie che non hanno soldi regolari, perché ci sono tanti tipi di aiuto qui in Belgio per le compagnie per l'infanzia e la gioventù. Ad esempio puoi avere un aiuto per la creazione di uno spettacolo, un aiuto per professionalizzarti. Per esempio puoi avere 20.000 euro all'anno per assumere un part-time di gestione, amministrazione, diffusione, dunque tanti tipi di aiuti. Ora non vi spiegherò tutti i tipi di aiuto che abbiamo ricevuto per via del Covid, perché non finiamo di rimandare, di annullare, di rimandare ancora le rappresentazioni, ma questo Julie ve ne parlerà molto meglio di me. Io provo di rimandare e lei prova di farmi rimandare magari. Ecco. E dunque una particolarità anche della nostra comunità è che ogni anno ad agosto si organizzano gli incontri di teatro per i bimbi e ragazzi a Huy, che è una città tra Liegi e Namur, tra Liegi e Charleroi. E questo è proprio particolare la nostra comunità. Per arrivarci, allora chi ha il contratto programma, chi ha la fiducia può andare subito. Tutte le nuove compagnie devono dare un tipo di esame prima, presentarsi, fare un dossier. Però lì arrivano tutti i programmatori della comunità francofona, ma anche dall'estero. E lì il Wallonie Bruxelles International aiuta, perché ci permette, la CTEJ riceve soldi per accogliere i programmatori stranieri e anche a Noël Théâtre, che lì è un festival. Gli incontri non sono un festival, ad esempio le compagnie non sono pagate, però hanno l'opportunità in 8-9 giorni tutti gli spettacoli possono essere visti dai programmatori belgi, francofoni anche fiamminghi, ma anche ai stranieri. Dunque tanti francesi vengono, svizzeri e poi italiani, perché spettacoli per i più piccoli che non hanno la necessità della lingua, ballo, ombra. Va bene? Ti do tante informazioni, vero Cristina?
Sarà meraviglioso. I will make my best to translate, and if I say something horrible, just correct me if you understand it. Allora, In Belgium, there are a lot of associations that are not for business. Let's call it that way in English. There is an institution that is called CTOG. That is an institution that is there to support a selection of structures that are working in culture and in theater. Those structures, for example, 23 of them have a program and they sign a contract with the CTOG. Every year they need to update their program, but this contract is signed for 5 years. That is not a bad thing. For example, they can have a grant of 60,100 euro or for 450,000 euro for 1 year, so different size of supporting, and they can have this support to create 1 or 3 shows or to perform or also to write a small booklet to better reach the audience and do activities of cultural mediation. Then you sign the contract and you need to stick on the contract and to do what you signed you will do. If you don't have this support, you can ask for different support, smallest or on specific action, like money for the creation of a show or for professionalization process. That means that, for example, you can ask for 20,100 euro to pay for 1 year as a person that is taking care of organization in your structure. And this, of course, as we understand, can help. This is added from me. During COVID, we have been given of a lot of support for all the performances that have been cancelled. And there are 2 important meetings that are the national meeting to support the distribution and production of the Belgian scene. In August, in Puy, that is a city between Liège and Namur. This meeting is called Meeting, les rencontres, and there you can find all the national producer but also international producer that are hosted thanks to a cooperation between Wallonie Bruxelles and CTOG that is supporting the mobilities of the producers that wants to visit this festival. Another important meeting is in December, and it's called Noël au théâtre, Christmas in theater, that have been recently cancelled because of the increasing of the curve. And there too it's possible to see and to meet international producers. If you are part of the CTOG, you are directly programmed. If you have this contract, you are directly programmed in this 2 festival. You have this in 2020, sorry. The Noël au Théâtre was cancelled in 2020, sorry. Because finally you did it, the 21. Yeah, okay, because there was a moment in which we were receiving the information that was cancelled, but Yannick will tell us later. Anyway, one important thing is if you are supported from the CTOG, you directly go programmed in this festival. Otherwise, you can you need to pass an exam to be programmed, and this is interesting. Yeah.
Ok. Allora, una cosa molto importante anche per questi incontri è che la maggior parte delle nostre rappresentazioni si danno nel tempo scolastico. Dunque andiamo nei teatri, dunque le compagnie vanno a recitare nei teatri, nei centri culturali, ma la maggior parte delle rappresentazioni, le recitazioni si fanno durante il tempo scolastico. Non vi spiegherò come è organizzato la scuola nella parte francofona del Belgio, perché è ancora più complicato che l'organizzazione del paese. Non vi dico quante rette ci sono, cattolici, non cattolici, della Federazione Wallonia-Bruxelles, del comune, della provincia, passiamo. E dunque nel jury, la giuria che deve giudicare questi spettacoli, ci sono quelli in rappresentazione di tutti i livelli, di tutte le rette delle scuole. E quelle perché dicono che il pubblico, ed è vero, è cattivo, non è che un bambino sceglie di andare in teatro, e il programmatore che propone, la maestra che sceglie, e dunque tutto deve essere gestito bene. E poi il sistema, la farò breve perché è un po' complicata, quando i spettacoli passati a Wii e hanno avuto il tampone, va bene, potete andare, chi programma, chi compra quei spettacoli riceve un aiuto. È per quello che noi circoliamo tanto in Francia, magari nel Nord America, in Svizzera, i belgi vanno fuori, ma il nostro sistema è talmente protettivo, devo dirlo, che è difficile noi accogliere, a parte la Montagne Magique, Pierre de Lune, si parlava del Festival Turbulence, però si fa ogni 3 anni, che costa troppo. Dunque, siamo più freddolosi, manchiamo un po' di soldi per noi accogliere le compagnie dall'estero, perché per quale abbiamo pochi aiuti. Non vi dico, è più facile fare arrivare una compagnia francofona che una fiamminga.
Perché?
È ancora più difficile.
Perché? È più facile far arrivare
Perché
una...
non ci sono accordi. Che ora si stanno mettendo d'accordo anche i ministri sia fiamminghi che... Però magari avremo l'aiuto di Wallonie-Bruxelles per fare arrivare italiani francesi, ma non fiamminghi. Vero?
Okay.
No?
Yeah, questo è perché appunto c'è un tema di non estrema comunicazione fra fiamminghi e fare fiamminghi e francofonia in questo momento.
No, e poi anche perché è lo stesso paese, dunque non è che...
È
Non lo so,
dall'estero.
però ci arrangiamo lo stesso, facciamo lo stesso.
Okay.
E dunque, visto che
Ehm,
che recitiamo tanto nelle scuole o per le scuole, io mi interessa tanto anche tutta la mediazione culturale. Dunque, organizzo con la 7G formazione per aiutare a fare un quadernino, è tipo questo, non so, ne ho una marea qui, dei quadernini così per accompagnare lo spettacolo a destinazione dei programmatori, anche dei professori, delle maestre, dei maestri. E poi, per finire, così finirò se non avete domande, si sta mettendo in moto, ma è molto rallentato via del Covid, un patto di eccellenza per la scuola qui in Belgio, dentro il quale c'è il PECA, che è il percorso di educazione, arte e cultura. Visto che ho fatto un po' tutti i mestieri, con un filosofo per bimbi e ragazzi, Gilles Abel, da 3-4 anni ha creato delle formazioni che diamo sia ai futuri insegnanti anche a tutti i mediatori culturali, agli artisti, e proviamo di andare avanti. Dico, purtroppo ora è un po' rallentato via del Covid, ma lo scopo è che un bambino da 3 a 18 anni avrà un percorso arte e cultura a scuola, obbligatorio, perché finora un po' secondo la volontà e la voglia o della direzione della scuola o delle maestre. Ecco, io penso di aver fatto il giro dell'argomento mio.
Grazie, provo a tradurlo. I will try to translate this long speech from Isabel, that I thank you. Okay, so the most important thing is that the representation are given for in the school time. So this is connected with the offer for the schools. So connected with the educational part. In the Francophonie, in the French-speaking part of Belgium, there are a lot of networks that are connected between them. It's like a mangrove forest, from what she said, and each network has his goal, like the Catholic one or other kind of network. So this is why the selection of the show that needs to be programmed needs to be really diverse to respect all the networks' goal. Also because they used to say that this is similar in all the world globally. The audience for TYA is an audience that is not choosing to come to theater. So to respect the diversity of the children, they need to have a different biodiverse and different selection of show. Once there is this system of label and so stamp of quality that is given from the CTOG or from the Wallonie-Bruxelles or from the fact that you have been programmed in those two festivals, then when you are programmed from a national structure, the structure itself receives support. So this is why the system is not that open to program shows or artists from abroad, because it's not that competitive. So it's a kind of really secure system to securize the fact that artists from Belgium can be programmed from the French-speaking part can be programmed and have the opportunity of performing. There is, Isabel was speaking about 3 festivals that are more open to program international production. La Montagne Magique, the festival Turbulence, and Pierre de Lune, because these are just for you to take notes about who's more open and to the international programming. Then another relevant thing is the topic of cultural mediation and the connection between the culture and the instruction sector, because there are a lot of programs that are driven about the cultural mediation and the connection between theater and instruction. This is done by the CTOG, and this is what Isabelle is doing at the moment, mostly in her professional life. And they are working, COVID apart, avoiding COVID impact, or with taking care of COVID impact, on a pact, an agreement between instruction and culture, that is a system that wants to secure that all the children from 3 to 18 have a journey in art and culture that is compulsory, and also that there are some programs of teaching for teachers to better face and connect with the cultural and artistic event. I hope I translate well. I have a question, and then I will give the floor to Sophie Joy from Flanders Art Institute. About the program for teachers, Isabel, who's supporting this? The CTOG? Chi è che sostiene i programmi di mediazione, i progetti tipo i booklet o questi processi che state strutturando? Economicamente come sono sostenuti?
Allora, è un po' complicato, visto che è proprio il governo della Federazione Wallonia-Bruxelles, che è il ministro della cultura e dell'insegnamento, che hanno per 5-6 anni hanno lavorato, sono stati tanti gruppi e dunque si è rifatto proprio, è un decreto del nuovo patto di eccellenza, e dentro nelle materie da insegnare, da proseguire, c'è questo percorso di educazione, e dunque finanziano ora quelli che chiamano consortium, ce ne sono 10 per la parte francofona, e lo ricevono soldi, e è quello che permette di prenderci per fare le formazioni, per formare. E poi sì, ci sono le chiamate anche ai progetti, e io con G rispondiamo a tutte le chiamate, perché ci sembra, lui insegna in scuola come si dice, per i futuri maestri, e poi ora siamo un po' conosciuti, dunque siamo chiamati dalle federazioni di musica, di cultura, per organizzare giornate di formazione.
quindi sono gli enti, diciamo, questi consorzi, enti pubblici o
Sì,
privati che fanno
che sono
un programma
finanziati dal
finanziati a
governo.
monte, quindi there is a program of financing and supporting of those activities of mediation, of cultural mediation, directed to teachers. That is a system of financing for the some consortium that are in charge of education, and that can call and contact in different way professionals that are able to give this kind of training to teachers. Very well. If there is no question, there are no questions for Isabella. Se non ci sono domande per Isabella al momento, io procederei con la nostra carrellata. Cominciamo ad avere un quadro più chiaro di questa complessità. We're starting to have a more complex frame of this complexity of the Belgian stage. Sophie Joy, which language are you going to speak? French?
I'm going to speak in English.
Okay, thank you. I will translate.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie Joy and I work for Flanders Arts Institute. Flanders Arts Institute is a resource and expertise center for performing arts, visual arts and classical music in Brussels and Flanders in Belgium. We are subsidized by the Flemish government, but we have an independent status. So we are not a funding body in itself. We don't give out the money, but we inform and we support where possible. We work along three main lines. That's documentation, research, and field development of the artistic landscape in Flanders, support for artists and arts organizations, and a third one is the internationalization of the arts sector. Actually, our institute is a point of contact for foreign arts professionals who are looking for information about visual performing arts or classical music in Flanders. So if you would have at any point any questions about the Flemish arts fields, feel free to contact us. We're also a co-founder of Assitège Belgium in collaboration with many companies and our colleagues of One Unique Bruxelles Théâtre Danse. Assitège Belgium, who I think you all know, so maybe that doesn't need any more introduction. I actually have a really small PowerPoint that I prepared, so if it's okay for you, I will present it now. Let's see if this works. I see it's disabled, so I won't be able to share my screen with you, but I will tell you some more about the Flemish arts.
You need to sorry, you don't reach to share?
No, because the settings, the host disabled.
No, I will take care of that.
Great.
I thought you were already.
Maybe now you are.
Now it's done. Now it's done.
And you can share the screen. Could you check?
Yes, it's possible. Thank you. Let's see. Here we go. Normally, you now see without the notes, right? Or do you see the presenter view? Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
What can I say? Let's start. What I will tell you about here in the presentation is an overview of performing arts for young audiences in Flanders, and it's based on data collected by my colleagues of Flanders Arts Institute and a text written by Evelien Koessens in 2018 with the title Youth Theatre is Dead, Long Live Youth Theatre. Let me first explain the title maybe. the idea that youth theater is a totally different scene than other performing arts has been fought successfully in Flanders since the 70s and the mid-90s. Actually, we need to point out here that there is a firm connection between youth theater and the performing arts sector as a whole in Flanders. They're subject to the same impulses that we see in public policy and in society, but also there are more and more artists who do not exclusively work for either young audiences or adults. This is actually a result of a deliberate strategy. Since the 90s, production companies have actively been inviting a wide range of artists to create for children and young people as well. And as a result, we see a unique compilation of expertise. On the one hand, there are the producers who have built up years of experience and know-how in working with young audiences. And on the other hand, there is a sort of constant influx of new stories and perspectives and ideas for converting them into new arts forms. Within Flanders, we also see a big hybridization of arts for young audiences. There's a lot of in situ work, outside, inside, and specific on specific sites. So, and actually, the entire performing arts landscape, not only children and youth theater, is characterized by this great diversity of houses and institutions. There are companies and production houses, some with or others without their own infrastructures. You have the art centers. There are workspaces, management offices, festivals, cultural centers, who actually all in a way present or produce arts for young audiences. And there's actually a permanent interchange between these different actors. It's a sort of layered landscape that is quite horizontal and structured in a non-hierarchical way, but forms an ecosystem as a whole. So as said, there's a big exchange between youth and adult circus, but also more and more between other art disciplines and theater. So we see a hybridization of work. And this openness that you see in the performing arts for youth in Flanders is also actually reflected in the political framework. Geert already talked about it, but the Flemish authorities do not consider the performing arts for young audience as a separate category. So actually, the degree itself is characterized by a high degree of openness, and it hardly imposes any harsh prescriptions. Organizations actually and artists are free to address young people one time and not the other time. And actually, as a producer from abroad, there are indeed possibilities to work closely together and to get subsidized. On one hand, there are the project subsidies, but also where you can work. Let's say if you have a performance and you work in collaboration with a Flemish partner, then it's possible that a Flemish partner will apply for a project subsidy. But there are also for the Flemish performers or Flemish organizations, there are also the possibility of getting a support for a presentation opportunity abroad. So if people are being invited to Italy, then there is a possibility to get funding for the costs of this presentation in Italy.
Thank you. So another point of view, important resources and I will say a connecting point and a possibility of getting in contact in a different way. And anyway, I invite you all to contact Sophie Joy, so that you can go on the website, because I know that there are a lot of resources and information that you can navigate through and go deeper, because now it's time to go to a festival. Finally, we go to Julie with La Montagne Magique. That is a fantastic festival with a long story, knowing that this meeting for us is a kind of preparation of the luggage of the information to travel to another festival that is Crocus Festival. So we're starting to know and to learn different names of different festivals of the Belgian stage. Thank you for being with us, Julie.
Hello. Allora, io parlerò in italiano, se va bene per te e per voi tutti. Allora, La Montagne Magique non è un festival, è un teatro municipale francofono per i giovani spettatori, in cui ci sono organizzati dei festival. Però programma spettacoli. Va bene così? Posso?
Sì. Io non ti sentivo, però sì, perfetto, grazie.
Si sente?
Sì.
Ok. Quindi questa istituzione, questa casa, grande casa che esiste già da 27 anni, programma spettacoli per i bambini da 6 mesi a 15 anni, per le scuole in settimana e per le famiglie in fine settimana. E questo pubblico che viene da noi, noi siamo impiantati in centro città, è un pubblico molto molto diverso. Il pubblico familiare è abbastanza internazionale. Bruxelles, essendo capitale europea, abbiamo molti paesi rappresentati nelle famiglie che vengono. E invece il pubblico scolastico è anche molto diverso, però accogliamo molti bambini di culture diverse e di livello socio-economico anche molto diverso. Allora è quindi importante dare da vedere di tutto e aprire la nostra programmazione anche all'internazionale, e questo possiamo farlo dai festival.
Ok, la Montagne
Mi fermo qua.
Vai. La Montagne Magique is a structure and house theater programming, a season, and also some festival. Is a programming for spectators from 6 months up to 15 years, for schools and for families. Existing in Brussels from 27 years, is taking care of different audience with different programming, because the families are really international. So this is the opportunity to make an international programmation, because Brussels is the capital of Europe. So we have a lot of families coming from different countries. And also about schools programming, we need to take care of the diversity of the children attending to the seasons in the school time. So also this is the door for the international programming. And the festival are, as we said before and also now, one of the frame in which is possible, and we love to program international shows.
Allora, da noi ci sono 3 festival internazionali. Il primo è molto importante, esiste già da 6 anni, ed è il Festival Export-Import, che è organizzato in collaborazione con Bronx, che è un teatro fiammingo per i giovani, un partner molto importante, e con cui cerchiamo veramente di trarre legami stretti tra la Flandre e il fiammingo e il francese in Belgio, il che è molto difficile, però ci riusciamo. E ci permette di farsi incontrare le 2 culture del Belgio, 2 concezioni diverse dell'infanzia e del teatro per l'infanzia, perché si vede veramente una grande differenza di punto di vista, Un esempio un po' alla grande, non è molto fine, ma per i francofoni il teatro rimane ancora molto legato alla lingua, e i creatori si fanno la domanda di che cosa vogliono dire, e per i fiamminghi la domanda potrebbe essere piuttosto cosa vogliamo fare. E vediamo delle cose, delle situazioni molto molto diverse, ci fa riflettere, ci mette un po' in movimento di vedere la diversità di proposizioni, di proposte. E vabbè, vai.
Vuoi finire su questo di festival? Su Export-Import vuoi dire un'altra cosa?
Ancora
Sì,
un poco. E in questo festival aggiungiamo anche delle forme teatrali che non si trovano in Belgio, e cerchiamo altrove delle cose un po' strane, cerchiamo di disturbare le nostre abitudini di teatro per permetterci di interrogare le proposte artistiche destinate al pubblico giovane. Ecco.
This festival, in La Montagna Gic, there are 3 festivals. One of those festivals is Export-Import. 6. Okay, that exists from 6 years created in collaboration with Bronx Festival. And in this space, we try to create and to bridge relation between Flemish and Brussels artists, and also between 2 ideas and position of theater and of childhood. It's a matter of how they think to theater and to childhood in the different part of the country. It's putting together a different point of view to concretely make an example that is not a subtle difference, but it can be representative and explain how they are different. From the French-speaking artist, when they create, they start from what they want to say, and mainly are based on the language and on the text. If we think about Flemish artists, basically they start from what they want to do, so they go to create a particular situation and starts from extraordinary setting. This relation is the door for the reflection, and this festival is the space for the challenge habits and how we think to theater. So to find really new form and to program new form and to experiment. I like this.
Allora, il secondo, va bene? Il secondo festival si chiama Parole al solstizio, e in questo mettiamo in evidenza la lingua francese, il piacere di giocare con le parole, di ascoltare storie, eccetera, eccetera. Quindi questo è piuttosto francofono. E poi abbiamo un ultimo festival che si chiama... scusami.
No, go ahead.
E l'ultimo si chiama L'arte e i piccinini, che si avvolge ai bambini più piccoli sotto i 3 anni. E abbiamo visto che questo pubblico è estremamente esigente, che se non è afferrato si distacca facilmente. E quindi abbiamo una gran voglia di trovare spettacoli delle proposte molto che fanno spesso appello a tutti i sensi, ma che sono anche esigenti in tutti i sensi.
Il nome di questo per i piccoli in francese si chiama?
In francese l'art et les tout petits.
Ok, allora, parole solstice, words to the solstice, non lo so come si dice. The moment in the year in which the sun is sunny. Comunque, anyway, this is difficult English. Anyway, the title in French is Parole solstice. It's a festival in French, based on French language and the pleasure of playing with the language. that is a specific activity of the French-speaking people. They really like to play with language, and sometimes it's really difficult to translate this. Then the other one, L'Art et les Tout Petits, is a festival dedicated to audience under 3 years old, because they have been learning that this is a really exigent audience, and so they're looking for shows that are really particular, with a high quality that can be really catchy for this audience that is really exigent. And I was programmed in this festival. This is why I thought that La Montagne Magique was a festival. Yes.
Sì, allora anche per il rapporto con questo festival ci sono alcuni artisti che vanno negli asili nidi di Bruxelles, con cui abbiamo dei contatti stretti, e dove possono direttamente fare delle prove in mezzo ai bimbi. Questo è importante.
Yeah, the one relevant thing about this format of festival is that one of the practices and activities is that the artist goes in the school for early childhood, and they go there to test and to build the shows together in relation with the children. I will add something in Italian. Questo è un tipo di festival che, per chi lo ha frequentato, cioè come pubblico, come direttore artistico come me tanti anni fa, ma credo che il format sia rimasto tale, è un festival che nel mio immaginario è un festival gemello di visioni, perché ci sono tanti aspetti che come struttura lo ricordano, e quindi vi invito ad andare a visitarlo, e invito la nostra Julie a visitare Visioni, e la nostra Elisa Semprini di Visioni le manderà subito un invito, perché il Chain Reaction è anche il luogo della connessione e della creazione di questi ponti. I was telling that this festival, L'Art et les Tout Petits, is also a festival that is a kind of a twin festival, of course, respecting the differences of a Visioni festival, that is an Italian festival for this small age. But the thing that makes me think to this twinning is because artists are going in the creche, in the school for smallest, to create their shows or to test and to have a relation with their shows. That is one of the important aspects at the productive level that those kind of festival can give as an added value to the sector, and specifically to this small audience part. So if you don't have any question, I will go to Yannick, that is last but not least, because he is the person that I need to thank, because all the people that are today together with us are here thanks to Yannick, that was inviting them or addressing us to invite them. That is here with two heads. Questo è complicato. With two heads, Teatro La Casquette and Arcitage Belgium, perché Yannick è qui con noi con due cappelli, un cappello per la sua compagnia Teatro della Casquette, che vuol dire cappello, e per Arcitage Belgium. We are just a little bit going to be just a little bit on late, but the translation as usual takes more time, so please, I apologize for this delay, but I believe that Yannick will tell us relevant things.
I will make it
shortly, but effective.
Hello everyone. I will make it very short because I would like to talk a little bit about the German-speaking community and theatre. But I also invite all of you to write to the people that have been talking. For example, I don't think that Sophie mentioned so many festivals that happen in Flanders. There's lots of festivals in Flanders. And especially with the one in Crocus, the Crocus festival at the end of February, and there's another one just after that, which is Spinrag, which is in Kortrijk, which is at the south part of, but still Flemish part of Belgium. But I would invite you to write to her, maybe to get to know all those different kind of festivals, and of course to the WebAE and WebTD regarding the Francophone festivals. Yes, and there's also something that Julie mentioned that is, I think, very important and significant, is I think that the fact that Belgium is a very small country, but with 3 different communities. And I think that Gerd mentioned that also at the beginning, is that we are at the crossroads of different culture. So it's a small country, but it's really very rich in terms of artistic and aesthetic propositions. And here in Brussels, I'm glad to be in Brussels, because I can see both in one day in the morning a Francophone show at La Montagne Magique, and a second one at Bronx, and it's like I've been traveling for like 500 kilometers, because it's 2 different worlds apart, and this is the richness of this country. And there's also this other community, the German-speaking community. I will not talk too much about them, just to mention you about the organization of their international festival. And this year they will be celebrating their 30th anniversary. They had to do so in October 2020, but they had to cancel it. And it will be in April, from the 19th of April to the 23rd. And there will be companies from Germany, Ukraine, Portugal, and another country, and of course from Belgium. And I'm pretty sure they will be very happy to invite you there. I don't really know their system there, how they are organized, but since they are part of Wallonia, they can present their show at the Rencontre de Vie. And in order to present their show at the Rencontre de Vie, their show must be either wordless or must be translated in French and presented in French. But Agora Theatre, for example, they always present their performances in 2 languages. They have the German language for their community, which is very small, but also for the German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and so forth and so on. And also for the Francophone part of Europe, like France and Belgium. So yes, we can characterize their aesthetic and artistic propositions as a mix between the Francophone style with the importance of the story, with the Flemish style with the kind of burlesque in the form, and also with the like political style, like for the German, something very important and profound. This is what I could say about the German-speaking community and aesthetic propositions. You see, I was very short, like 2 minutes.
Maybe shorter than me writing all what you said.
And also I'd like to mention, but maybe I don't think that it's, well, it's just for you guys to have some information, is that there is a cultural agreement between the Flemish and the Francophone communities that was signed in 2012 or 13 or something, and there's money given from Flanders and money given from the Francophone part of Belgium, so that companies or museums or cultural associations can work together. And 2.5 years ago, with Assitage Belgium, we were the big project of this cultural agreement, and we have the chance to inaugurate, to create the Barak Belgique festivals. That was the first time ever that the Flemish, the Francophone, and the German-speaking communities created festivals that occurred in Flanders, in Wallonia, and in Brussels. It was in November 2019. Unfortunately, with the COVID coming three months later, yeah, it was kind of difficult to bounce back.
Very well. Are you planning to have another Barack Belgique in the future?
Indeed, if we receive money, but the problem is that no, I mean it's a real problem, because as it is, Belgium cannot be subsidized by Flanders or by the French speaking. It should be like national funding, but there is no national funding in culture in Belgium. Well, in theater for young audience, of course, the opera of La Monnaie, the Mund, is subsidized by the federal government, and there are also other entities, but in TYA there is no national funding.
Okay, so our time is over, but there was someone, or there were people writing me in chat that they want to share experience or make questions. So let's say that we have 15 minutes more, but sharp, so that means 4:45. And then we go, and I will stop translating. Help yourself with the language and share what you want to share. Just writing in the chat who wants to go first.
I would like
Tamayo, or write in the chat what you want to share, as Tamayo Okano from Ikarika Festival in Okinawa was doing now, so that we can benefit of this digital multi-level communication, listening, reading in different languages. Go ahead. Who was speaking? Okay, go ahead.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to testify about my experience.
Okay. Kind of introduce yourself. Like,
yeah, exactly. Alain Baczynski, I am based in Jerusalem, but actually my work is outside Israel. I work with companies from Israel, but also from Spain, Portugal, Germany, Italy, and even one company from Belgium. So I wanted to, I see that most of friends here from Italy, they belong to theater companies, and maybe they would like to go and perform in Belgium. And that's why I wanted to testify that there is a very, very, very little chance to perform in Belgium, as Isabel exposed that a bit earlier. I mean, the system is closed. It's like a perverse system, what I feel, that prevent company from abroad to perform in a regular season of theater. I don't speak about festivals, which are more open, and I want to speak only about theater for children and on the French side of Belgium. I don't know how it's going on the Flemish side, but I have some experience on the French side and in Brussels. So I worked for 20 years all over Europe, and Belgium is the most complicated place to get in with any show.
Fantastic spot.
So
that's realistic and concrete. Is the other side experience?
Yes,
if possible.
So is it very easy with my Belgian company to go outside, as it was explained, we get money very easily. On the other side, the system of the CTEG, the CTEG, as it said in French, it's what I think is perverse, because it protects 100 companies to have competition with any other company from abroad. So if, for instance, you have a French company living in a city which is 20 kilometers away from the border, like Lille, Roubaix, Valenciennes, Charleville, they will never perform in Belgium, because the system is built in such a way that when a theater wants a show for children, the CTEG, CTEG, will give half the fees to the theater to buy the show. But if the theater is interested in a French company living about 40, 50 kilometers, he will get zero money, €0.
Okay, Alain.
So it's very frustrating, I must tell you.
we understood your witness. I mean, because I want to let the floor to someone else that wants to add something. Since for those who doesn't know me and for those who knows me, I love to be positive. It means that there is space for co-production. This is how we can look at that opportunity and anyway, to know for an Italian point of view, to know that there is a country that is supporting their artists to go abroad and to perform in the country with the supporting system is anyway a pleasure and a joy that makes us dreaming. So who wants to add something? Fantastic. Who wants, Gerd, you wanted to say something more? No? Okay. If there is no one that wants to add anything, we can say bye. It was a great pleasure to discover this Belgian stage. Of course, there are a lot of information that we can explore or know more about. We haven't been speaking about the Crocus Festival because we want you to come with us, and we will be there from the 27th of February to the 3rd of March with a group of Italian delegates. And also, since me too, I have a double hat. I am director of a festival, but also part of the executive committee of Acitege International. We will have a meeting there. So to go forward and to prepare what we will do in our fantastic gathering in Sweden in May 2022. The next meeting will be, for those who follows Chain Reaction, directly from Crocus Festival. I will interview the people that are there and that will be there. So stay tuned, look at our Facebook channel and at the Italian website of Acitege Italia that you will find in the chat, and you will get all the information that you need to get connected with Belgian stage. Thank you. Thank you, Yannick. A great panel.
Thank you, Christina. See you in Crocus.
See you somewhere over the COVID.
Bye-bye. Merci.
Bye.
I will be in Crocus as well with a Finnish company.
So you got it. You see, you are so strong.
I will be with a Finnish company, but with the Flemish people, not these Flemish people.
E ci vediamo in Italia.
Ci vediamo in Italia, a Roma.
Grazie mille. Ciao Cristina,
Grazie.
ciao a tutti, grazie.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao, goodbye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, grazie.